BBC Tea's Breakfast with Neil and Amy. Weekdays from 6.
8:25 now. It's not been an easy few days for the Prime Minister, has it, to say the least. She remains under pressure from some Conservative MPs who've not given up hope of reaching the threshold of 48 letters from Tory MPs to trigger a leadership election. Now, one of them is Middlesbrough South and East Cleveland MP Simon Clarke, who's calling for a vote of no confidence in Mrs May. He told the BBC's Newsnight programme he didn't think that the game was over.
The truth is there'll be other flashpoints. I think when the deal comes to the House of Commons, I think that could well be a flashpoint. I think, whilst it's possible that the government will be defeated, I also think there is the nightmare scenario that the government could win with Labour support. And I think that will be focusing minds in the run-up to that vote. So I don't think this is the end. No, I don't.
What a combination that would be. Simon Clarke joins us live on BBC Tea's Breakfast this morning. Mr Clarke, good morning.
Good morning.
Hiya, this vote of no confidence, the reality is it's stalled, hasn't it?
Well, the truth of the matter is, as I said on Monday evening, that I think there will be moments in the next few weeks where it will raise its head again, because this is not about any antipathy to the Prime Minister. I have a lot of respect for the Prime Minister. She's actually handled the last few days, I think, with incredible resilience and class. But the problem is, the deal that she is proposing does not deliver the Brexit that people on Teesside voted for. And if that is the case, and she's not going to change her mind, then the only thing we can do is change the leader of the government before it's too late.
Can I be honest with you? It sounds like you're backtracking here, because the reality is you've not got what you wanted. Are you slightly embarrassed because you put your head above the parapet here?
No, quite the opposite. I mean, I absolutely stand by my position. I think that at times like this, you've got to stand up. And this hasn't been easy. It's not what I want to do. It's not a pleasant experience. But the truth of the matter, as I say, is that if the deal that is being offered would leave our country trapped in an arrangement with the EU that we would not be able to exit of our own volition, then I think you do have to actually take steps to prevent that. And it is not in any way easy. I think, however, that we will get to that threshold at some point, unless the Prime Minister changes her mind. And I don't think, as I say, she's going to do so.
Let's just play this. This is from BBC Tea's our drive show last night with Gary Phillips, and he spoke to the Stockton South Labour MP, Dr Paul Williams, who's bringing forward, really, this amendment now to try and secure this new referendum on a second vote. Have a listen to this.
People want the people's vote. There's been polling that's been done that's shown that, including polling done in Stockton, that shows that 55% of people now want a people's vote. I think they want to have a say on this because they realise that the Brexit agreement brought back by Theresa May is not what was promised in the referendum a couple of years ago. Nobody, whichever way. I mean, this is as you said, it's a very divisive issue, and lots of I completely understand why people voted, to leave, and I understand why people voted to remain as well. But nobody voted to be poorer, but because they were told that they'd be able to get this great Brexit. But the reality is that we're going to spend £50 billion of public money, and we're going to get nothing in return. We lose all of under the current deal, we lose all the benefits that we had, and we don't get any gains. It's a national humiliation for us.
Mr Clarke is right, isn't he? Why shouldn't we be given that second vote, the right to choose what we want to happen next?
Well, Paul is completely wrong. The truth is that he and a number of his Labour colleagues in the North East never accepted the result of the referendum. They hate the fact that the people of our area rejected their vision of a world run by Brussels because, frankly, Britain doesn't know how to run itself. And I think they've always been gunning for this outcome. No, the instruction from the British people was crystal clear. 2/3 of people on Teesside voted to leave the EU. And I don't know about Paul, but if you spend time on the doorsteps of Middlesbrough South and East Cleveland, and I suspect it's the same across the rest of our area, what you will hear is there is a fierce determination that we should get on with taking back independence, taking back control of our borders, laws and trade, and governing ourselves and making life better for people. And I think it is really profoundly insulting to suggest that we have to go back to the drawing board. And if we did have a second referendum, which I would certainly vote against, I tell you now, we would win it by a bigger margin.
Really, Simon Clarke, an interesting few days and weeks ahead still, of course. So thank you very much indeed. Simon Clarke, the Middlesbrough MP, joining us live. Middlesbrough South and East Cleveland MP, live with us here at BBC Tea. It's Wednesday morning. Look at the time, it's 8:30.